Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Discover New Music podcast from us at Pelt Music. Coming up shortly, I'm going to be chatting with Blush Puppy after they just released their debut EP, Here You Dream. But before then, the usual quick reminders from myself. If you would, please do follow Pelt on social media. We're on Facebook at Pelt and on X and Instagram at Pelt Music. And again, if you would, please give us a like, give us a follow wherever you're watching or listening. But that's enough of that. It's time to get on with the podcast. So let's go. Welcome to Harry and Ciaran from Blush Puppy to the Discover New Music podcast. Absolutely delighted to have you on
Thanks for
what
having us.
my end, at least, is a sunny Sunday afternoon. I don't know what it's doing your end.
Bit cloudy.
It's in and out of the clouds, yeah.
Yeah, the juxtaposition of the British weather, hey, it's great. But no, it's a great time for me to get to talk to you because you've just put out your debut EP, which is always a fantastic milestone for any band. So we will get into that in just a second. But being the Discover New Music podcast, we always start with the same segment. It is hopefully for some people to discover some new music. So just as an introduction for people that might not be familiar thus far with the work of Blush Puppy. I call it the origin story, which is very grandiose. It's not that grandiose. The question is simply, what is the background of Blush Puppy? How did you come together as a band?
We all went to, well, three of us went to school together, right? So me, Harry, and then Luke. So we've known each other since, well, Harry and Luke actually went to primary school. So they've known each other since they were like, what?
No, we went to infant.
So like, yeah,
Wow.
4 years old or whatever.
We
But
didn't like each other until we were 18, though. We never talked.
I was friends with Harry at school. I was friends with Luke at school, secondary school. And because I was friends with both of them, they like started to be friends with each other. And I think we were like 15, 16, and me and Harry were just like a sick form, and we were just like fed up and hated it and just like wasn't for us. And I was like playing guitar and really getting into music. And I knew that Harry's dad played drums. So I was like, you should totally learn how to play the drums.
Yeah.
And he did. And Luke could already play the guitar, and we used to like mess about all the time. So it was like just naturally sort of happened, like kind of started off like taking the mick a bit, like pretending to like play air guitar along songs when we would like have a few beers, and then we were like, I don't know, we just started jamming together, rehearsing, and yeah, we've just played in bands ever since. And then, I mean, we were in a band under another name for a while, and then when Blush Puppy started, there was just three of us because we lost our bassist who we also went to school with, and then that's like when Izzy came along, and now she's like the newest addition to the band. So we just knew her from like gigging around like Birmingham and stuff because she played in other bands. So yeah, that's the
Yeah,
origin story, I guess.
and a classic origin story, yeah, and I do love to hear it, and love that we've arrived at this place. So obviously, listeners, that's the introduction for Blush Puppy. If you've checked out the accompanying playlist, you'd have noticed a few Blush Puppy songs that have migrated their way on there recently, and they're obviously coming from that EP. So one of them that I want to start us off with is Under the Water, which was the sort of lead track for the EP, which is again debut EP, big moment for a band. And when you're picking that first song to put out into the world, it's quite an important choice. I've likened it in the past. We were just talking before we hit record about my children, and I find picking the song you're going to release first is like picking your favorite child. Very difficult.
Yeah.
You secretly know who it is, but but you can't admit it. But obviously, with Under the Water, what stood out about that track to make it the song that was that statement single?
I think it was actually like a fairly easy choice for us for some reason. Like the rest of the song order, not so much, but like from when we wrote Under the Water, it was just I think it was all of our favorites from the start, and it just made sense to put out first because it was the only song that was never in doubt to actually be on the EP because we had loads of songs, loads of demos that we were like torn between, oh, what do we put on the EP? What do we record? And Under the Water always had its place. So then when it came around to what's the lead single going to be, Under the Water always just made sense to all of us, I think.
Yeah,
I think when we like showed it to like friends and family as well, that kind of
Yeah.
was always the stick out song to them. that was the one that sort of like you'd leave after listening to them all, and that would be the one stuck in your head kind of thing.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah, two good signs. I mean, when it just sort of naturally feels this has to be the song, often your intuition is right, and you go with your gut. And I think it worked fantastically as an introduction. Part of the reason as well is I'm a massive live sort of music video geek, and I grew up before school, after school, watching Krag and Scuzz and MTV and everything. Which sadly, none of those are there anymore. So yeah, listeners, there'll
so
be a
so
link for the videos on YouTube. Go check it out because stunning music video for Under the Water. So how important are music videos to you? Because that's not the only stunning video that I've seen of yours. And how did you go about coming up with the concept and recording that video?
we love doing music videos. It's like one of our favorite things. Like, a lot of bands, they love making the music, but then when it comes to a music video, they're kind of like they can't really be bothered. Uh, we love it. So like we put so much time into like planning and preparation, because we sort of like come up with the ideas and the themes and get all the props and stuff ourselves, and then we'll like work with the videographer. So for Under the Water and like Tears and Rain, our two new music videos, they were with Morgan Ted. We filmed them. So he like sort of brings the idea to life. But it was just with the lyrical content for Under the Water, it was kind of easy to come up with the concept because it's like sort of the lyrics are sort of a nod to Alice in Wonderland. So that was where I think Luke or Harry came up with the whole concept of it being like based around a like Mad Hatter's Tea Party, and then all the ideas kind of just like sprung from that.
Yeah, and it looked like, if nothing else, you had fantastic fun making the video as well.
Oh
We
yeah, it
did.
was
Yeah, it's
great. It was a really good day.
a lot of like we were always told to like focus on micro content as well. So I think doing the music videos because we enjoy them so much, and then the micro content not so much. It's just like we always, whenever we can afford it, because they're obviously expensive to do. We just yeah. So hopefully there'll be music videos for other songs on the EP further on down the line. Because yeah, having those music, I like watching them back as well. It's kind of like we've got older ones that weren't that were like before the EP, and they were all really fun to shoot as well. So
I think a good music video like brings the song to life as well, doesn't it? I think some songs you hear it and it sounds a certain way, but then when you sort of match that up with the visuals as well, it tells a whole different story, and you like hear the song differently. So I think like I love that music video because I think it just matches the vibe of the song so well, like kind of like moody, like grungy sort of.
yeah,
It's just like a really good, uh, yeah, I guess look into what the EP is about.
and then going back to the Kerrang and Scuzz kind of thing, we used to when we first started, we'd practice at a youth club, and then we'd go back to one of our houses, and then just Kerrang would just be on in the background. So there's so many like music videos that pop up, and I've seen this music video so many times, not by choice, just because it's like on Kerrang.
Yeah, they used to have the same rotation of like 30 songs, didn't they?
Yeah, because we watched the last ever Kerrang, didn't we?
Yeah, we were so sad. Genuinely, that was all we did from the age of like 16 to like 19, I think. Like at the weekend, like obviously we go out every now and then, but most times we just like have a few beers and just watch Kerrang and just like jump about like a bunch of idiots, I guess, and like pretend we were in a band.
Sounds a lot like me in my youth as well, and
Yeah.
it's so sad it's gone now for people getting into music. But as a YouTube is there, and I love that you've put the effort in to these videos because, Ciaran, you're absolutely right in the added layers it gives to songs. And often I'll hear a song on the radio or even live, and instantly my brain just goes, "Oh, I remember the video to this. It's such a cool video." So it just does like bring them to life, I think is what you said, and I couldn't agree any more with that. So. Yeah, fantastic. And listeners, link in the bio, click through, check out the videos for Under the Water and Tears in Rain, both great videos. Just to close out on the video, actually, I always love to ask the question because we've had a few recently where there's the underwater shot, and given it's called Under the Water, it's a you had to do it. But what was the
So
experience like? How cold was the water?
it was a really hot day, so we were lucky. It was like, when did we film it? It must have been like July or something.
It
'Cause
was
it was really, really hot, like blue skies. And we were on like a farm. It was our friend we went to school with's farm. So it's huge. He has so much land. And we bought this like bathtub from Facebook Marketplace. And we had to fill it up, but they have like a reservoir there. So we like filled it up with this hose. So it was like pretty cold. I mean, it's just like water that's already outside. So, I mean, yeah, it doesn't get much colder than that. So after about 5, 10 minutes, you'd be like shaking, lips turning blue. But getting out, it was fine because obviously you're drying in the sun. So it could have been worse, you know, if we had to like film it in like December. I don't know how we'd have done it.
I didn't
Got
get
hypothermia,
I
maybe.
didn't get in the full bath because I
No.
don't sing, so I was lucky.
Yeah, he was safe.
When I got in, there was about like that much water in it, and I was moaning that I was cold, so
Yeah.
don't know how
It's
you
worth
did
it though. Worth it for the shot.
it.
It is worth it for the shot. It always looks fantastic. I say I've had a few on recently. That always just like amazes me because yeah, how cold that must be. And obviously, then you get out and you're wet, and you go. But if you can dry off quickly, so well worth it. Listeners, definitely check out the video. And if you haven't already, listeners, checked out the EP. So it's called "Hear You Dream." Fantastic EP. We've given it, I believe, 4 out of 5 stars on our review. It's
That's great.
obviously, which is pretty much for us the highest we give because we just don't give 5 stars, just because that's saying something's perfect and nothing in life is perfect. That's my philosophy. So 4 out of 5 is basically the top marks. So listeners, definitely need to be checking it out. How does it feel for you to be able to sit here and say that your debut EP is out there in the world?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because we put obviously people only see like the when we announced the EP and that from that time. So when did we release Under the Water? Like
December.
yeah, like so like 4 or 5 months, but then realistically we've been working on the EP for 2 years, and like pulling our hair out over dates and just music videos. So yeah, I think it didn't really hit until like a few days after it came out, and it's like, whoa, that's kind of it's a big step for us. So, and then we've got the EP show on the 2nd of May, which is I think going to be another moment where it like hits home, like, well,
Yeah, I think it's out and it's such a pressure off our back, but it doesn't feel like it's out yet because
yeah,
we've not properly like gigged and like toured the songs yet. So I think, like you say, yeah, once we actually are out there playing these songs, like playing the EP in its like entirety, then it'll feel like, well, this is cool because we've been dying to play these songs live for like 6 months to a year. Like we've had them like sat there, but we're like we can't play them because you have to do the whole boring release plan,
Yeah.
teasing it and stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited to actually start playing them, and the fact that it's out and people can listen to them before the gig. Hopefully, you'll have a few people bobbing like singing along. That'll be a moment I think for me that I'm like going to be very very proud of.
Yeah, absolutely, as you should be. And obviously, it's an EP that you worked with a producer, Adrian Bushby, who, someone like myself that obviously reviews a lot of music, you start to pick up on certain names, whether it's videographers making the videos or the producers. Yeah, and Adrian's someone that I've picked up on so many EPs and albums that I've reviewed that I've really loved, and just you start to put the pieces together. What was the experience like working with Adrian?
yeah, it was really cool because it like a big influence for us is Foo Fighters. So for him to have done a Foo Fighters record is crazy.
Surreal, yeah. The fact that he's just sat in the same room as Dave Grohl is like
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
He'll like tell stories really casually, like, "Oh yeah, when Dave did
When
this."
the,
I'm like, "You mean Dave Grohl?" So yeah, Dave.
and then because he's worked with like massive names, obviously. So
Massive.
yeah, massive.
That's
But
success.
so yeah, to get into the studio with him, like I think the first song we recorded with him was it Stay Away?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, Poison.
Poison. So that wasn't on the EP, and then we were just gonna do singles, and he kind of was like, "Let's do an EP."
Yeah, he really
Yeah,
helped us out. I mean,
yeah,
he does
massively.
it. He helps a lot of like smaller artists and stuff because he actually like got in contact with you, didn't he, to reach out to work with us?
No,
Or you
I
contacted him?
sent him
Oh, okay.
a drink. I found him on Instagram, and I was drunk at the time, and I sent him a drunk message like, "Oh, listen to this.
Some text
It's great."
can be a good thing.
And I woke up in the morning with a message back, and I was like, who have I messaged?" And I looked and was like, "Whoa, that's cool." And he was like, really like just excited to work with us instantly. And obviously, we were probably more excited to work with him. So yeah, it was always fun in the studio, like bouncing ideas off him and him telling us when stuff's not good. Because he was really like straight to the point, which
Yeah.
yeah, which
Hmm.
was great because we'd have an idea and we'd think, oh, it's the best thing ever, and then he'd be like, no, 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 and then when you'd listen back to the idea, you'd be like, yeah, he was definitely right about that. So
He's really good at like making like quick decisions as well. Like sometimes, you're like do two different versions, and you'd be like, oh, I don't know which is better. Is it this? Is this? And he'll just be like, right, which one? This one. That one's shit. Do this one. Like he's very like boom boom, which helps obviously with productivity massively because then you're not pissing about like on little tiny minor details. You just like bang 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 bang, get it over and done with. So I really like that about him.
Yeah,
You
no.
can spend a long time on very little things.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Having that person able to, drive you and point you and get you, produce you in such a way
Exactly.
is is like, yeah, a blessing in disguise. And obviously, yeah, I love to hear stories of individuals like Adrian and others that are willing to, at the drop of an Instagram message, just to jump in and go, yeah, 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 no, let's work together, let's do this. Because obviously, the industry, there are some dodgy people out there, but there's
Yeah.
also some amazing people out there that obviously help everything run the way it should do. So absolutely fantastic. And listeners, again, we just touched on the release show. So is it at Dead Wax in Birmingham on the 2nd of May? So if you live Birmingham way, absolutely need to get yourselves to that show. If you don't live at Birmingham way, obviously I'm assuming the aim will be to get out and play some more shows in the aftermath of the release.
Yeah. We've done a few down south. We've done London, Southampton, and Bristol over the last few weeks, and then there should be more that are kind of on paper, like penciled in, but not confirmed. So hopefully we'll just be playing shows kind of relentlessly for the foreseeable. But yeah, it always seems to be the case. Like the gig's like confirmed but not confirmed. Then we don't hear anything, and then it's kind of like, oh, the show's in a few weeks now. We haven't got it, and yeah, but hopefully get on a few tours.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I think listening to these songs, I can't wait to hear them live. They sound like they're really built for the live side of things.
Yeah, I think that's like something we take into account when we're writing. Like in terms of like tempo, we'll push it up a few BPM and writing songs with playing them to crowds in mind is like a massive part of our writing. Because when we first write songs, like a bridge will be like 3 times as long, 4 times as long as it actually ends up being. Because we're like, why would we push it that long and stuff like that? So yeah, it's a big part because we love playing live shows. I think it's all of our. He said music videos is our favorite
Hmm.
part, but I think at most bands playing live is favorite part. So yeah, keeping that in mind.
Well, I said one of our favorite
What?
things. Rewind back, clip it. So that, yeah, of course, playing live's got to be the best thing for any musician, hasn't it? I mean, that's the real moment you're actually performing. It's like that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's actually playing the
Yeah.
song. Like you can capture the moment in the studio and record it, which is great, but then actually being able to perform it live in front of people, completely different feeling. There's no feeling like it, is there? Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Love the live side of the industry, getting to a show and watching. I noticed as well you've supported recently a couple of previous guests from the podcast, Millie Manders and Daytime TV. So shout out to both of those. And yeah, listeners, in this day and age, best place to stay up to date with Blush Puppy is obviously social media. Blush Puppy banned across all the channels. So thank you for that, because sometimes I have to read out like 4 different handles with underscores and all sorts of nonsense in there.
Yeah, we try to keep it consistent.
Yeah.
We're actually trying to drop the band.
Yeah.
We want the accounts to just say Blush Puppy because it's like we made that and we were like everybody does their name and then band, but it's like why do you have to put band at the end? Like
I know
just
there are a
band if they know you,
Yeah, there are a few other Blush Puppy accounts which aren't bands. It's normally to do with puppies and
Yeah.
and Minecraft.
Oh, really?
So yeah, but yeah, we're looking to drop the band eventually, but
Like in the social network where they called it the Facebook originally. It was like drop it's cleaner. Like we're trying to drop the band. It's clean.
Yeah, I'll make sure I don't clip just that little bit with you saying drop the band, because I don't want your bandmates seeing that. But yeah, listeners, definitely follow the band, get along to a show. The final question we have on this podcast is around the live side. And I said I was a music video geek, and obviously we all share that love of music videos. We also share the love of the live side. So my love of the live side has caused me to become a bit of a set list geek as well. So the final segment is called Set List Science, and it's quite a simple sort of premise for the question. How much importance do you place into the structure of your set lists, and have you got any rules that you tend to follow?
In terms of order of songs that we play live, right?
This is Harry's favorite thing.
Yeah, I love
There's
it.
always one that loves it.
Yeah, so
Set design.
we when we play our shows, we uh, especially headline gigs, we'll have kind of a story being told by a voice that comes down. So all the tracks will, not every single one, but they'll it kind of tells a story throughout the set. So planning the set list is, I think we take longer than most bands on it because it's like every song has to go perfectly into the next one. It has to make sense, and
Harry's
um,
vision is always for it to be like almost like a like cinematic experience. So
Love it.
you have like the big long intros and like all outros that are all like mystical and like cool sounding, like a very epic sort of feel to it.
and Ciaran just wants to jam between songs.
I just wanna bang out riffs. And every time he'll like, have a track between every single song. I'm like, can we actually play our instruments this one, please?
So yeah,
They are cool though, obviously. Like when you see bands and they put all the different work into sort of it's the transitions between songs. So it's trying to make it feel like fluid. So it can be really fun doing that as well. But Harry probably does like 70% of the work for our set lists in
yeah,
terms of transitions. Yeah.
yeah. We used to play with like none of the tracks, and between songs we'd have like a few kind of instrumental bits, but it would be like we'd be tuning and you'd hear them tuning their guitars on stage, and I just hated that kind of thing. So I wanted to make like it flow. 'Cause there's a lot of different tunings in our set, so like Kieran swapping guitars, and then Izzy and Luke are tuning. So
Yeah, some of it's less creative, it's more practical. You kind of have to.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Playing songs that are in the same tune, and you only because I swap guitars, obviously. So it's like you try and play those songs in a row, so I'm not having to like constantly go.
So yeah, the set list science is scientific.
Yeah,
It is. It
With
truly is.
yeah,
Uh,
we try and make it as yeah flowy as
it's
possible.
fun making a set with the EP though as well because they feel a lot more like cohesive. They seem
mm.
to because obviously the running order we've picked for the EP is like we intentional. Um, so it's cool to fit them in now because it seems to flow better. Because I think some of our older songs like they're not quite as like similar to each other, whereas the whole EP I think has a good like feel to it, like yeah, cohesive is the word I've already used, but yeah,
Yeah, like the difficult part was fitting in the old songs that we wrote when we were
Mm.
a lot younger with the songs that we've written recently, trying to find their place in the set where they don't feel out of place. Because I don't know if you've listened to the older stuff, but the sounds changed from like the first single, If I Could, to now. Like there's obviously aspects of the same things, but I think the sounds matured a lot more
Yeah.
since then. But then If I Could, which was the first song we ever released, is one of my favorites to play live still. It's just bouncy, nice
it's fun.
feel.
Yeah.
So it's like when we have the 30-minute sets and we have to cut songs off because we're going to have to start taking old ones off to put the EP songs on. It's so difficult to choose which one.
Like you said with your favorite child, it's like yeah, you have to pick your
Yeah.
least favorite. It's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is another milestone sort of career moment at the point where you are having to go, hang on a minute, we've got too many songs here. We need to figure out
Yeah.
which ones are going to get left out. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
nice. It's nice because in the past we've been like, right, what unreleased song are we gonna have to like smash together to kind of
yeah,
actually play a full set? So yeah, it is nice, and being able to, because we've spoken about being able to take songs out and like just constantly, and that's another like the set list science, having songs that can be swapped out and they still flow in the set in the same way as every other song, kind of thing.
It's catering to your audience as well, isn't it? If we were going to do like a support gig with a band that's like way heavier than us, we're going to like leave in the heavier ones, take out the softer ones, and then vice versa. If we play with an artist who's like maybe a bit more like indie on the softer side, we'll play the songs that are more like that.
Yeah.
So it's like yeah, it's nice to have a good choice of songs to sort of swap in and out.
and I love that point actually, you really, really do because it's so important because I have seen bands, play sets and I've just thought you really haven't thought about this, you haven't pictured the audience you've got, and obviously you're not playing to the audience, as you say. You've obviously got this one set you've rehearsed, and you're rigid. No, no, this is what we're playing. I don't care about anyone else. This is what we're.
Yeah.
So like that's a great attitude to have, where you and ability to have, where you can swap around and obviously make it work for the crowd. So kudos on that.
Well, we've done gigs before where you're playing with a band that's like so different to you, and we'll do that where we just are stubborn and we're like, well, we like these songs this way, so we're going to do that, and then you just like see the reaction from the crowd. It's just like it's not the one, and at the end of the day, that's who you're playing for, isn't it? So you want to play to them what you think they'll enjoy the most.
Yeah.
Simple.
And with our genre, which we don't really have a genre, we can fit onto those bills with indie bands and then more poppy acts, and then we could also get thrown in with some metal bands and not be massively out of place. So yeah, having that kind of, I'm looking for a clever
Versatility.
That's the word.
Ciaran's my word guy in life, by the way. If I ever don't know what a word means or need a word, this guy,
Love it.
drop me a message if you're ever stuck. But I forgot what I was saying now.
Jump in, save him, Ciaran.
Big words. Philosophy.
No, what did I say?
Conundrum.
Oh no, okay, yeah, I was saying that we can fit on a lot of different bills. So yeah, it's good to have that kind of versatility in our set list and like our back catalogue kind of thing, because there's like songs that aren't released which are complete pop songs just with some heavy guitars, and then we've also got some which are just filthy riffs for 3 minutes. So yeah, it's also, it makes writing more fun, because if we're ever bored of writing a specific genre, like with the EP, we didn't want to stick to, okay, this is our sound. It was kind of whatever we wanted to write on the day, whatever we were feeling. If it sounded cool, we were like, yeah, let's run with that. And then I don't think it was you guys, but one reviewer said, was commenting on the kind of versatility of the different genres, mixing genres a lot, which is something we went for. So yeah, it's good to see people seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it keeps it interesting for you, but for me, it keeps it interesting as a fan as well. I mean, I always hate when I'm reviewing albums and I may be looking at, what other people are saying around a release, and I think, why are you criticizing this band for trying to expand their sound and evolve? You like them, yes, I love like the first album, the second album, or whatever it is, but they're already there. I can go back and listen to them. I want to see what they can do now. I want to see them stretch their legs. So the fact that you're already able to do that at this stage of your career again is a fantastic sign for the future for me.
Yeah, it's kind of like a massive influence for me, and I always mention them, is a little band called Bring Me the Horizon.
Who are they then?
Yeah. So, because I've liked like all of their albums, so for them to go from like a death metal band to writing a pop album and then still putting heavier bits in, I'm just like, because I don't listen to them and ever think, well, that's not the same as Sempiternal, so I'm not going to listen to it. Like I've liked every album. Like Ammo is one of my favorites, and everyone like criticized it so much because they pretty much took the metal part out almost entirely, not completely, but. And then they've got the song called Heavy Metal, which is written about fans not liking them because they're not heavy metal anymore.
I think some bands can get a lot of hate for staying the same and like producing the same sort of music. So two bands that come to mind for me, like Royal Blood or like Capture the Bottlemen, right? So they sort of like stayed true to their sound.
Yeah.
People sort of like stopped listening. Like I think all their new stuff's great. I still like it, but a lot of people are kind of like, oh, it's just the same as all the other albums. So I always think, it's better to be true to yourself and like do what you want to do. Like a band like Bring Me the Horizon, they do whatever they want and people still listen, and every song like that they bring out now like does really, really well. Or a band like Radiohead, they got a lot of stick for how different their sound was because everyone just wanted them to like reproduce Pablo Honey and do songs like Creep, but they were like, no. And they're like one of the most loved bands ever, and every one of their albums is so different to the next. So I think that's definitely the way to go is...
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's a cliched thing for me to say, but I mean, it's such a mature like frame of mind to have. I love to hear it because, as you touched on with the criticism of bands that don't evolve, basically as a band you can't win. Whatever you do, you are going to get shots fired at you. So you
a
might
good
as
song
well...
is a good song, isn't it? It's like it doesn't matter if it's the same as other stuff or if you're mixing genres or whatever. It's like it tends to be the fans that like stick a genre on a band anyway. Yeah. Like, because whenever bands get asked, I don't know if you've ever played in a band before, but like it's so hard when someone's like, "What kind of genre are you?" For you to say yourself, it's like, you can't pick one. It's like you pick all the different genres you like, and then it's an amalgamation of that. So like all of
Absolutely.
our different influences, mine, Harry's, Luke's, Izzy's, it's like you hear all of that in it, and it can be like from 1975, who Harry likes, to like Rage Against the Machine, who I like. You know what I mean? It's very, very different.
Of curiosity, and this is asking the podcast host a question.
Oh,
If you had to put a genre on us, like what genre would you say we are?
I would say you are Blush Puppy.
Hey.
There you go. Great
I,
answer.
I absolutely in my reviews, it's because there's a pressure when you're writing a review for an album, like because listeners want to know, well, what is this? Is this rock? Is this pop? Is this metal? Is this punk? What is it? So you kind of feel like you have to apply a label to something, and I absolutely hate that. I hate doing it, and I try to avoid it as much as I possibly can. And yeah, again, the point is with the fact that you're going to get criticism, whatever, as a band, then don't try to be the next Rage Against the Machine 1975. Don't try to be whatever. Be yourselves. Do what makes you happy as a band. Play the music you want to play. And if you're good enough, as you guys clearly are, people are going to get on that journey with you. So that's my answer to that.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I feel like
Well,
you knew I was good. I was going to ask that because that was a perfect answer.
Oh, I love it, and I love it. I think that's the first time I've probably been asked the question on the podcast, so I love it. And
you're all flustered.
oh, fantastic. Well, I mean, it has been so great chatting with you both. Listeners, hopefully you've enjoyed that chat. Hopefully you've picked up on what I'm going to point you to now. Obviously, the EP, Hear You Dream, check it out. Stunning EP. The videos that are out so far. Obviously, we've got the date in Birmingham coming up in just a couple of weeks' time. Follow the band on social media so you can stay up to date with all of this stuff we've been talking about, everything that's going to come in the future. That is my final message for the listeners. But I always give the final message to the guests. So, what would be your final message for the listeners today?
You've already said it all. Come to our gig on the 2nd of May, and when we're touring the world, see you there.
Fantastic. Echo it, listeners. And yeah, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me on the podcast today.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. I really do hope you enjoyed that chat with Blush Puppy. Do make sure you check out their debut EP, Hear You Dream, which is out now. And of course, follow the band on social media to stay up to date with everything coming from them. You can also stay up to date with Full Pelt on Facebook at Full Pelt and on X and Instagram at Full Pelt Music. Finally, from me, if you would, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, wherever you're watching or listening, because we'll be back very soon with another episode of the Discover New Music podcast.